Hmm. All right. Hello, hello, hello. So, note to self, check all the Facebook settings because I didn't and I assumed I knew how to use it. So apologies, I couldn't do it live in the end, so I'm recording it now, which is a little bit late, and I will let this go out later. But I want to record this because I said I would. And so for myself, I must do it. So welcome, 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 welcome. My name is Liz Walton, and I am the fertility coach. I don't just do fertility, but fertility is a huge passion of mine to support other people because it has been a huge journey in my life. So I am recording episode 0 of my new podcast, which I'm calling Fertility, Health, and Coming Home to the Self. So I've got my notes there, so excuse me, I will check on my notes. So I'm going to share today who I am and why I wanted to start this podcast. And because it's become a bit of something that I've just had to get out of me, and something that I really want to be able to share. And hopefully what I would like is this could be like a beautiful cup of soulful medicine that people can drink as and when they need it. Maybe it will help change mindset, change something from the heart, may help to heal something, may help to put a smile on someone's face, or maybe it's something that you can share because you know someone else might like to hear it. But the whole thing is about creating those deeper conversations. So there's more to life than just the fertility journey and why we're not getting pregnant. And I'm really, really curious about this. I know for me, it's not always about the fertility. So I was showing up as a fertility issue, yet a lot of the things that I had to heal and look at had a lot to do with stuff and layers that was happening long ago and things that I needed to heal. And I noticed this in a lot of my clients, although the issue and it may be showing up as one thing, it's usually layers different. So whether it's fertility, whether it's an issue with health, it's all about coming home to the self. And when we are in alignment, then so much can change. And I think life as well is more about more than just what's going on, not just what might be wrong with us and might not be working for us. It's more to it. This is another thing that I think the conversation is really needed to have. It's what is going on that's deeper. What are the learnings? Why is this happening? How did we learn to go through it? And what was the deep medicine? What was the soul calling for? What if this is something that is happening for you to grow, to become more? What if? Because I believe when we are stopped in our path, when something happens, whether it be fertility or health or, you know, whatever it is for us, it's an opportunity to do life differently. It's an opportunity to change. It's an opportunity to see life in a different way. And then what is that? What does it look like? What does that really mean? These are the questions that I think are so interesting to uncover, because for all of us, it's different. Yet for all of us, it can be such a key to grow. So as I said before, I want this to be like a cup of soulful soup, you know, so every time I say about us having a conversation or me having a conversation with you, the listener, with a wonderful, amazing person that I will be chatting to either next to me or virtually through Zoom, may it be something that can be healing for you, okay? Something that may change just your day, your life, something that can support you and help you. And I honestly think everything is about coming home to who we really are. Because in life, we can lose connection. We can lose who we are. We can get so busy in this manic world with everything in the 21st century that we've got to learn to remember, rewire, reconnect. Sometimes it's by stopping that we get to do this. And I'm curious, what is that for people? What is it that the universe is calling us to do? Lord, God, Allah, Buddha, whoever it is for you. Or maybe it's the situation. For me, fertility called me to be better, to stop, to examine my life and where I was. And yeah, it's been a huge lesson, a huge learning in all the different things that have happened to me. And these are the conversations that I want to have. It's about putting on that hat of curiosity and uncover what that is, not just for me, but for you. I mean, I'm going to ask you, what are those conversations as I have all these different amazing women and men, all these different therapists, doctors, all sorts of people that I will be having conversations with to peel back the layers and find out what's deeper. What is that? What is that gold, those nuggets? I want to be able to create a space to learn, a space to grow, a space to deepen in what this is for our hearts and our soul, into who we are, so that we can connect deeper to ourselves. Does that make sense? That's what I would love. And we need to do this because life gives us the opportunity in those tough times to connect to ourselves, because it's like something happens and we got to stop. So there is always an opportunity, and I know it can hurt so much, but it can be also an opportunity to be more. And so what is that? Why is that? How can we grow from those tough times? What is that? So this is the space to open and to delve deeper. So I'll be coming to you each fortnight. It was going to be a Wednesday, but I think now it's going to be a Tuesday, so which is quite exciting. So each Tuesday, so Tuesday Thoughts, and I'll be having a conversation with some amazing people, all sorts of people that have been on all kinds of amazing paths. Okay, I'm going to turn my page now. All sorts of amazing paths. So these are people doing wonderful things. Some will be to do with fertility, some will be clients of mine, some will be people that I've met that have had amazing fertility stories. Some of them will have a lot of health stories and overcoming them. I will be talking to all sorts of different therapists that do amazing things. And what's been their story? How did they learn? What have they noticed? I'm going to be talking to some fertility doctors, and I'm going to be talking to all kinds of people where we can delve deeper. What is that they notice about the healing? What is that they can help with their stories of life and healing and of growing? So a bit about me. So we learn from what we don't know. Okay, we know what we know, and we don't know what we don't know. And I know some of the toughest things in my life that have happened for me, I don't know about you, where I've had to go outside of myself to find the answers, to go through, because the only way through a hard time is through the middle. And what we feel, we can heal. That's when I've done a lot of growing. You know, we will always have to go through a tough time to grow and become more. So I just find this so interesting, so exciting and nurturing. It's never nice at the time, no, but when we look back, it's a time where you can go, wow, gosh, a lot happened to me. I have become a different person. And so who am I now? And what was that? And I love these questions, you know, what is it that allows us to grow? And what was it for you? How have you become better? How can we strive to be the best of who we are? I mean, we're always learning. I am always learning. Yes, in every opportunity we can choose to be more. There's a journey of life for all of us. We've all got a book in us, haven't we? We've all got something that we have gone through and learned from and moved forward to and grown. I mean, that's the way it is. The more we change, the more we've grown and found gratitude and thankfulness. And that's why one of my favorite sayings is that wonderful saying from Gandhi, be the change you wish to be, because it's so powerful. The more we change, the more everything in life changes. So I was really lucky to grow up overseas most of my life in third world countries. I love that. So I had a wonderful upbringing in how I think. Now, something did happen to me that wasn't so nice. I had some sexual abuse. It was something that I had. It's not part of me now, but it was something. And it was something that created a lot of stress and tension in my body that I didn't know how to deal with. And I now know that if we don't deal with stuff and it compounds, it will manifest as illness, as health, as depression, as all sorts of things. So in my 20s, I realized now I was quite massively depressed. I had lots of anger issues, even though I suppressed it all. And I was, I partied too much. I took things I shouldn't do, and I did a lot of things I shouldn't have done. I was a bit of a wild child. I would have said I was fine. I don't know about you. So, but it wasn't until I got into training and learning about alternative therapies that I started to understand, oh my goodness, you mean I can learn to heal this? And this is what opened up a huge part. And I went and sought out people to help me support my journey of healing, I suppose, and it changed everything around. Look, it took a long time to get to where I am now. I've done lots of training, lots of learning, and I'm by no means perfect, but the person who I was to the person who I am now is changed immeasurably. I now have all sorts of different therapies to my kit bag, and each one has supported me to help and learn and grow. I was in my early 30s. I went off when I was 29, 30, and I went to live in Africa, and that's where I met an Australian man who has since become my husband and brought me to Australia. And this is when I was already an older mother, so to speak, to be. I wasn't a mother yet. And that's when we decided, might as well try get pregnant. Well, might as well just get pregnant. I didn't realize that you had to try. And so there created and began, should I say, another huge path of trying to get pregnant because it didn't work. And really, it was the beginning of that I had to delve deeper into stuff that had happened in the past, because I thought I was fine. Yeah, I was a bit unhappy. Yeah, there's no reason why I should be unhappy. I've had a lovely life. But the fertility journey allowed me to delve deeper into what was this. So long story short, over 10 years, I had 6 IVFs. And look, each IVF, when I was told no, the first time not too bad, second time, oh, it hurt. And it just got worse and worse and worse. And it became a huge, huge emotional journey as to how to negate, I think, the emotions of the fertility journey. Because I think they become overwhelming, they become all-encompassing, and we just attack the self. Why me? What's wrong with me? All I could see was what everyone else had and what I hadn't. It's like this big mirror there. And oh, it hurt so much. I was trying everything in my power to try and find the key to understand. I was desperate, trying to, just understand what was wrong with me. So I was doing lots of training, lots of learning, seeing loads of therapists. So over time, I was becoming a better individual, less stressed, more happier, but still no baby. I added quite a lot of different new therapies to my kit bag because I wanted to really imbibe and understand them, which again supported me to become a healthier individual. But unfortunately, no baby. So there came a point when I had to move back to the UK. I wanted to go back and look after my mum in the latter part of her life, which was, you know, I'm so glad I did. It was huge, and I did it. It was a big healing time. And again, looking as to how I can continue on the fertility journey. Anyway, the universe always sends things of interest, doesn't it? So my sister-in-law, bless her, she got pregnant first time through IVF. And look, I know I needed to be happy for her. And a part of me was really painful. And it was a huge time of having to let go. And I remember a very good friend of mine said, look, Liz, just allow your heart to burst into a million pieces. It's better to just break down. So that's what I did. I cried for days. And it was a really, really, really difficult time. And that was also my guiding star to realize the universe, life, everything I've done has shown me that I cannot get pregnant. So it's time to let go. It really is time to let go. But how do you do that? How do you let go of something you've just spent 7, 8 years working towards? So that again was another big delving into, well, how do you do that? How do you, who am I if I'm not a mother? What's my whole reason for being here? Who is this that's left now? And all of those huge questions. Because I remember thinking, when do you give up? When is it the right time to give up? What does that mean? And for years it's like, I'm not ready. But now I really had to. This was my brother's sister. Sorry, beg your pardon. This was my husband's sister. And yes, it hurt, but I needed to get over this. This was time. So I then went on another journey for about a good year to a half, called on friends, again, added lots of different therapies, just did loads of workshops. What is this? To be free, to be happy, to be whole. And I didn't want to just, be okay. I was like, if I'm not meant to be a mother, then let's get on with life. I didn't want the universe kind of going, hey, here is a big life here to be lived. And I'm always over here going, oh, I wish I had. I mean, that's a life half lived or not lived or existed, isn't it? Well, that's for me. So I wanted to have this life going, hello. So I felt I had to bring this zip down, let go of that woman, that other part of me with her beliefs, behaviors, patterns, everything that she knew to be what she knew. She wasn't going to serve me anymore. And I couldn't move forward with her. I had to shed her and let her go. And it took time, but it happened. So much so that my language was, oh my goodness, I'm so lucky. I don't have to have kids. I was going to go off to Africa, save the world. And that was what was going to happen. So it was really eventually, gosh, so good to just I'm good. And I remember a few friends going, are you sure you don't want kids? And I'm like, I am good. That is cool. So yeah, it's interesting to think back on that actually. And so, now I realize when we let go, we set in place a whole lot of things that are now able to happen because I'm not trying to force life to happen how I want it to happen. Again, I can bring all these learnings to my clients, which is so interesting. So I allowed life to happen. And so what that meant was me and my husband started getting on. It's not that we weren't getting on, but I had emotions. I felt I did all the work. So things started to happen. I started to be happy. I could let go. We were going out. We were having fun. We were in the UK, and life was doing its magical thing. But the main thing is I was feeling happy. I was feeling free. And I really was enjoying life for the first time in quite some time. And I was really connecting with my husband. Like we were finding a whole new freedom, which was really good. And yeah, life was good. My dear mum, her health was now beginning to diminish. And so that was also part of, me being able to be there. So what then happened is 2014, 2014, December. Yeah, I was feeling horrendous. And again, because I could party, because I knew I could never have kids. I was feeling so bad. I was like, what is wrong with me? So I went to the doctors, just like, I've got this menopause and it is like hit me like a ton of bricks. What do I need to do? So she told me to pee in a bottle, so to speak, and pee. And I did, going, and she came back going, giggling slightly, going, you're not pregnant. Sorry, it's not menopause, you're pregnant. And I was just like, what? No, don't be silly. And it was quite a shock to my system. So I did go home and take several other tests because I could not believe it. So long story short is I was, but I really didn't know how to process this. I didn't know how to accept this. And I kept going, what now? I mean, I'm 45, now. I mean, are you guys having a laugh up there? What's this all about? My 12-week scan, it was interesting because for the first time I saw this picture, it was like, oh my goodness, it's like real. The emotion that came up was like this wave of every emotion you could ever, tears. Anyway, 5 minutes later, the doctor said, sorry, things aren't looking good. It's too much fluid in the back of the neck and your nuchal translucency is too big. So we are looking at chromosomal issues. And I was a bit like, excuse me, I cannot compute. I don't understand. I'm just getting used to the fact that I might actually be pregnant after all this time. So that was a really bad day because it was like a metaphorical slap and then another slap. And I was really finding it difficult to compute. So again, spoke to a really wonderful, beautiful friend. It just said, you must go see this lady. And it really helps women that have been given this kind of diagnosis. I saw this amazing woman. It was in the outskirts of Bristol. Her name is Harima. She's on my website. And we did some amazing inner emotional deep work. I did also have the external work because my husband was really worried. And look, we went through all sorts, and it's like this little being that was here. We didn't realize it was a she, but after a while we did realize it was a she. She wasn't going anywhere. So I had to then learn, how can I be totally together and completely, here, even though all of this is happening around me. So I would say again, another massive spiritual experience to be completely at this time and space, to find peace and love within my body, even though there was all this madness around. So in the end, I was 46. I had a beautiful birth. I had a beautiful daughter. She was totally fine. I am blessed. And then the next thing was learning how to be a parent, which I am still learning, to be fair. We have stopped with the one child because that was what we decided to do. And this is where I am. And it's really through having my daughter that a friend of mine said, who does a lot to do with business coaching, I think this is a good place for you to focus supporting people on. And then that's how I became a fertility coach. And really, with all of seeing my clients, my own personal journey, realizing yes, it might manifest as fertility, but it's not always just fertility. What else is going on way down here that is looking to be released, healed, all of the things find completion. So that's now 7 years ago. I now have a 7-year-old, and I live in Australia, in Canberra at this moment in time. And this is where I now know some things. I've now supported a lot of women to find peace. And within that peace, they found babies. Some have found peace. Some have had no babies, but peace. And it's about moving on. I also have a lot of clients that have nothing to do with fertility, but I love what I do. I love helping people to be everything they can be. And it's something that I walk myself, because if I can't do it, how can I expect any of my clients to do it? So that's a bit of a story about me. What other ones I've got left? Yeah, I will eventually write a book, and one of my last chapters will be, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And that's what I feel happened with my daughter. It's like, once I'd let go, released, it's just like she looked down and go, oh, okay, she gets it. Now I can come in, you know. So what is that? What are the things that we really need to get that create such peace, bring us all into alignment so that we can have everything flow to us? What is that? Let's look deeper. Let's have those conversations. And yeah, this space, these conversations about inquiring deeper, being curious, look within. Let's see what's there. What do you want to hear? What do you want to know? What's something about your journey and your fertility journey, or maybe it's health, or all those things, you know, that it manifests at? What is it? What have you learned? I mean, I have a lot of patients that have gone through cancer as well, and I love being able to talk with them about what they've learned and grown through. You know, we will all have something that stops us in our tracks. It's all great stories to delve into. I think my biggest life experience is I had at one point when I was 7 a chance to, you know, not come back or come back. And, you know, it was that choice to live. And I think I had that again in my 20s. It was like a big bang. What am I doing here? Why am I ruining my life to such an extent? You know, choose life. And of course, there was a big movie about that, wasn't there? Choose life. And I love that. So what makes us choose life when it's all so difficult? My biggest message bursting from my heart for you as we finish off. So what if everything that is happening for us and not to us? What if all of this is a calling because it makes you become the best you that you can be? What if? And if that's the case, what is it that soothes your soul, that allows us to become more? What is this? I love this, you know, as I look back, it's all managed to work its way out. So what if everything isn't because it was happening against me, but all for me? You know, every mountain was because I would come through it. So what if that is for you too? What if? It's exciting, isn't it? It's interesting. And it's something that we can all grow from. These are the conversations. So I got this from a client of mine. It's probably back forward. It says, if nothing ever changed, there would be no butterflies. Can you see that? There we go. I know it's back to front. But it's so true. If we don't have the opportunity to kind of get tied up and work our way out, how could we become the butterfly that we're meant to be? Yeah. So, my beautiful ones, this is episode 0. Hasn't gone out quite live, but I will share this video. So with love, with gratitude, I look forward to seeing you, and I will work out how to do it live in the middle of all this. And I have the most beautiful woman who has agreed to do episode 1 with me. Her name is Julie Tanner. She is known as she's a woman that knows all about the energies of masculine and feminine. And it's a big question that I get. And a lot of what I tell a lot of my clients is about who are we as the feminine being. And a lot of us are in our masculine elements. And if we're on a fertility journey, and if we're on a journey of creativity, it doesn't always have to be about the baby. We need to access that femininity. These days, it's all about the doing, getting the goals, achieving. And we need to come back, remember, rewire, reconnect with who we are as that beautiful feminine goddess. Okay, so a wonderful lady called Julie Tanner. She is a pleasure nutritionist, and I look forward to seeing you 2 weeks on Tuesday. I will confirm the time with this wonderful lady as we go deeper into those questions of finding our feminine, how it may support our fertility. By not being in our feminine, how it can be working against us. And what does that mean? So let's go deeper. All right, with love, with gratitude. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you then. And thank you for listening for today.